Listen carefully. The moment you stop chasing, something powerful happens. Not to her, to you. Most men were taught that love is about trying harder, texting more, explaining yourself, giving more when you're already giving too much. But what no one tells you is this: effort does not create attraction. Self-respect does. If she is pulling away, becoming cold, inconsistent, or distant, chasing her will not bring her closer. It only tells her one thing: that you are afraid to lose her. And fear never creates desire. Here's the truth most men learn too late. You don't build value by proving your worth. You reveal your value by being willing to walk away from what doesn't respect you. When you stop chasing, when you stop trying to convince someone to choose you, something shifts. You no longer look like a man asking for approval. You look like a man who knows his worth. And that energy is impossible to ignore. Right now, if you're watching this, it's not an accident. Something inside you already knows you've been giving more than you've been receiving. You've been hoping instead of choosing, waiting instead of leading. So before we go any deeper, do one thing for yourself. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for you. Because today, you're not here to chase anyone anymore. You're here to reclaim your value, and everything changes when you do. When a woman starts to pull back, most men do the same thing. They try harder. They send longer messages. They explain their intentions. They offer more time, more attention, more effort. And that feels logical. After all, in every other area of life, working harder brings better results. But attraction doesn't work like a job. It works like energy. When you chase someone who is uncertain about you, you are sending one silent message: I need you more than you need me. And the human mind reacts to that in a very specific way. We are drawn to what feels rare, stable, and confident. We move away from what feels needy, anxious, and emotionally dependent. So when you over-text, over-explain, or over-give, you're not showing love. You're showing fear. Fear of losing her, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. And even if she doesn't consciously realize it, she feels it. That feeling creates pressure. Pressure kills attraction. That's why chasing never makes her choose you. It makes her feel like she has all the power, and people don't respect what they don't have to earn. The more available you are without boundaries, the less special your presence becomes. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because you're showing up as someone who doesn't believe he's enough. And the hardest truth? No woman can feel secure with a man who is emotionally collapsing around her moods. She wants to feel chosen, not responsible for your happiness. That's why the moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop trying to prove your worth, the dynamic begins to change. Because now you are no longer asking to be picked. You are standing as someone who can walk away. And that changes everything. The moment you stop chasing and quietly step back, something shifts inside her mind. Not because you said anything, not because you explained yourself, but because you removed your presence. And absence does something that words never can. It creates awareness. When you were always there, always available, always trying, she didn't have to think about you. You were predictable, comfortable, emotionally safe to take for granted. But when you walk away, that comfort disappears. Suddenly, she notices the silence, the lack of messages, the missing energy. And her mind begins to ask questions. Why isn't he reaching out? Did I misjudge him? Did I push him too far? Did I lose something real? These questions create emotional movement, and emotional movement is the foundation of attraction. People don't miss what they always have. They miss what they lose. Your absence creates a vacuum, and the human mind hates empty space, so it tries to fill it with thoughts of you. This is why staying never creates clarity, but leaving does. Distance forces reflection, silence forces emotion. And here's the key part: you didn't manipulate anything. You simply removed yourself from a situation that wasn't honoring you. That act alone signals value. A man who stays in disrespect looks small. A man who leaves looks powerful, not loud, not angry, just certain. And certainty is incredibly attractive. She may not show it right away, but inside, the shift has already started, because now you are no longer a man begging to be chosen. You are a man who chose himself. and that changes the entire story. A lot of people misunderstand walking away. They think it's a trick, a strategy, a way to make her miss you. But that's not what this is about. Walking away is not manipulation. It is self-respect in motion. When you stay in a situation that hurts you, confuses you, or makes you feel small, you are silently teaching someone how to treat you. You are telling them that your boundaries don't matter, that your time is flexible, that your feelings can be ignored. And once you teach someone that, they will keep doing it. But when you walk away calmly, without anger, without insults, without drama, you send a different message. I value myself too much to stay where I am not respected. That message is powerful, not because it's spoken, but because it's shown. A man who begs loses leverage. A man who leaves keeps his dignity. And dignity is something people feel deeply, even if they never admit it. You don't have to announce your exit. You don't have to threaten. You don't have to explain endlessly. You simply step back. You remove your energy. You choose peace over chaos. And that is where real power comes from. Not control over her, control over yourself. The moment you stop tolerating what hurts you, you stop shrinking. You stop compromising who you are just to keep someone around. And that is the beginning of a stronger, more grounded version of you. One who doesn't chase, one who doesn't beg, one who knows his worth. There are two kinds of energy a man can bring into a relationship. One is needy, the other is grounded. Needy energy sounds like this: please choose me. Don't leave. I'll do anything to keep you. Even if those words are never spoken, they are felt. Grounded energy sounds very different. I enjoy you, but I don't need you to be okay. I choose you, but I won't abandon myself for you. Women don't fall in love with words. They fall in love with how a man makes them feel emotionally. And needy energy feels heavy. It feels like pressure. It feels like responsibility. Grounded energy feels safe. It feels stable. It feels attractive. When you walk away instead of chasing, you shift from one to the other. You stop vibrating from fear. You start moving from self-respect. That's why silence after you leave feels different than silence when you're ignored. One is powerless, the other is confident. You are no longer asking for attention. You are deciding who gets it. Who gets? That shift is subtle, but powerful, because now if she comes back, it's not because you begged, it's because she felt your absence. And absence, when it comes from strength, is magnetic. Not because you're trying to be distant, but because you are no longer emotionally dependent. And independence is attractive. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is turning a woman into their center. They organize their time around her, their moods around her, their future around her, and without realizing it, they slowly lose themselves. A woman doesn't want to be your entire world. She wants to be part of a world that is already strong. A man with purpose moves differently. He has goals. He has direction. He has something he is building. And when a woman enters that life, she feels invited, not responsible. But when you drop your mission to focus only on her, something changes. Your energy weakens, your identity shrinks, and attraction fades. This is why walking away is so powerful. It forces you back into yourself, your work, your growth, your health, your future. And when you return to those things, you don't just become more attractive, you become more fulfilled. The strongest relationships are built between two complete people, not one person leaning on another for identity. When you make your purpose your priority, you no longer tolerate situations that drain you. You don't chase distractions. You choose alignment. And that changes how women see you. Not because you're trying to impress, but because you are living with direction. A man who knows where he's going does not beg someone to walk with him. He simply keeps moving. And if she chooses to join, it's because she respects the journey, not because you stopped yours for her. Most men think they have walked away, but emotionally, they're still holding on. They stop texting, but they keep checking her profile. They create distance, but they keep replaying old conversations. They say they're done, but they're still hoping she reaches out. That is not detachment. That is just quiet waiting. True walking away is deeper than physical distance. It is mental and emotional release. When you truly detach, you stop measuring your worth by her reactions. You stop wondering what she's doing. You stop building your mood around her attention. And the moment that happens, something inside you becomes calm. You no longer feel like you're missing something. You feel complete again. This is where real power begins. Because now, if she comes back, you don't feel desperate. You feel neutral. You are able to decide instead of react. And that is what changes the dynamic. Women can feel when a man is no longer emotionally attached to the outcome. There is no tension, no pressure, just grounded presence. And that is magnetic. Ironically, the moment you no longer need her, she often feels your absence more strongly. Not because you planned it, but because you are no longer energetically chasing. You've returned to yourself, and a man who is rooted in himself becomes difficult to ignore. When you're chasing someone, you're operating from scarcity. Scarcity says, "This is my only chance. I can't afford to lose her. I won't find someone better." And that mindset quietly shapes everything you do. You tolerate things you shouldn't. You ignore red flags. You accept half effort because deep down you're afraid of starting over. But the moment you walk away, something shifts inside you. You move from scarcity to abundance. Abundance says, "I don't need to be chosen to have value. I can walk away and still be okay. I trust that what's right for me will find me." This is where confidence comes from, not from pretending you don't care, but from knowing you'll be fine either way. When you think this way, you no longer chase attention. You don't negotiate your boundaries. You don't beg for consistency. You simply observe. And if someone isn't meeting you at your level, you let them go. That calm certainty is rare, and rare things are valuable. Women don't fall for men who are afraid to lose them. They fall for men who know they'll be okay even if they do. That doesn't make you cold, it makes you stable, and stability is incredibly attractive. When you walk away from someone who doesn't respect you, you're not running from love. You're walking toward yourself, toward your peace, toward your confidence, toward the man you were before you started doubting your worth. Staying in something that makes you feel small slowly erodes you. You begin to question your value. You begin to settle. You begin to lose your voice. But leaving does the opposite. It restores you. Every step you take away from what hurts you is a step toward what heals you. Your energy returns. Your focus sharpens. Your identity becomes clear again. You remember who you are, not someone begging to be chosen, but someone who chooses. This is why walking away feels scary at first, because you're stepping out of familiarity and into self-respect. And self-respect requires courage. But here's what most people don't realize. The moment you choose yourself, you become more attractive, not just to women, but to life. Opportunities open, confidence grows. Your presence changes. You no longer tolerate situations that drain you. You move with purpose. And when you live this way, relationships become healthier. You don't cling. You don't chase. You invite. Because now you know that being alone with dignity is far better than being with someone who doesn't value you.